The son complained that his mom's cooking was too salty. His mother's whole demeanor suddenly changed. She grabbed her chopsticks and started shoveling food into her mouth, as if she hadn't eaten in days. The atmosphere felt deeply unsettling. Then she snatched up the egg pancake her son had pushed away, and tore into it like a wild animal. She handed what was left over to her son to finish. The son looked helplessly over at his father. His father just said, "If you don't want to eat, then don't." The mother's eyes turned cold and empty. Then she swept everything off the table in one swift move. Her sudden change in behavior left the whole family frozen in shock. That night, the husband went to find his wife and asked her why she had acted that way toward their child that morning. But his wife said she had gone out to see a friend that morning and hadn't been home at all. The father was deeply confused. Ever since they had moved here, one strange incident after another had been happening. Late every night, their neighbor would make bizarre noises that sent chills down everyone's spine. Even worse, the very next morning, a skinned dead cat was found hanging outside their window. Their young daughter saw it and fainted on the spot. The husband decided to go confront the neighbor. The moment he stepped into the yard, he was hit by a sickening stench of rot. Crosses were stuck into the ground all over the yard, giving the whole place a dark and eerie feel. The man knocked on the neighbor's door. When no one answered, he cautiously stepped inside. The floor was covered in fresh blood. The entire room reeked of it, and hanging from the ceiling were the carcasses of animals. The man instinctively stumbled backward in horror. Suddenly, the neighbor appeared right behind him, staring at him with cold, dead eyes. The man forced himself to stand his ground and speak up, but the neighbor just stared back at him without a word. Shaken, the man turned and left as fast as he could. That same night, the family was woken up again by the sound of slaughtering coming from next door. The kids couldn't sleep either. The man had had enough and called the police. But when the neighbor opened the door, he seemed like a completely different person, bowing and apologizing, claiming he had only been weaving cloth. The father pulled out his phone and showed the officers the dead cat that had been hanging outside their window. Even the cops were visibly disgusted. The police went in to investigate, but the foul smell in the yard was completely gone, and the animal carcasses in the room had vanished without a trace. The man tried desperately to explain himself, but the officers simply gave the neighbor a warning and walked away. From that point on, the family itself started behaving in increasingly disturbing ways. One night, while the daughter was asleep, her father suddenly yanked the blanket off her. She sat up in confusion, only to be violently grabbed by the hair and thrown back onto the bed. Her father seemed like a completely different person. His eyes moved over her body with a dark, hungry look. Then he lowered his head and stared her down with an unsettling intensity. The girl trembled with fear from head to toe.